Hello, and welcome to another interview with Dissonant Waves. My name is Dominic. Ritz and Trix are here,
Hello.
and
Indeed.
I'll make the announcement for the first time, I think, on an interview we've done. We have Sarah from Elizabeth Whittington. Hello.
Uh, Hello. Thank you for having me. I am very glad to be here. I started watching like the podcast around like I remember Jude from We Will Look Back at You and Love You Forever sent me a link to it, and I really enjoy like the podcast and what you guys do. It's very interesting.
Have you
Thank
watched a lot of
you.
episodes?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't even know.
Yeah. This
Thank
is the
you.
first for us.
Um, yeah, we are currently in the middle of doing some coverage on some of your music as is. In the coming weeks, we will have covered "We Are Still the Same, If Not Minorly Fucked," and then next week we're recording stuff about your splits, Captisabeth and the Cat Split, and um, the longest misery nap ever, and surprisingly, we've got "Crawling Getting Nowhere" repeat as well.
Oh, it's very surprising. Yes, the deep cuts.
Which, having listened to at least once by now, I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I mean, I guess it felt kind of underwhelming to release like that after this two like almost 3 hour long like album. So I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna move it to personal Bandcamp, I guess.
I mean that's fair, but there is something to be said for like you have the whole, big art piece where there's a lot happening and a lot of, strong emotions, and then you have to have like your little silly moment to kind of like rebalance and recalibrate. That's how I kind of viewed it.
Oh yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
So, if you ever feel the need to put it back publicly, I think we would support that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have a history of trying to get people to put stuff back on Bandcamp unsuccessfully.
We did get one person to remove their entire band camp, I'll say that.
Oh, that is that is an accomplishment. Jesus.
So the other thing we haven't quite mentioned just in the introduction here is obviously you I guess managed is probably the word Deapfth Pop Records as well. This small little label that you've got of very similar sounding claustrophobia pop, I believe is the genre name that we've all dubbed this.
Yes.
Artists. How did you come across actually creating this label? What was I guess what's the history behind it?
Oh yeah. I guess the history behind Deapfth Pop is mainly I remember I used to have this old Twitter account. I've had about like three Twitter accounts, and both of the past ones have gotten banned because I threatened somebody's life. They deserved it. To be fair, it was like Elon Musk in a Minecraft
Oh, yeah.
YouTuber that made fun of somebody's death. So in my defense, it was justified. But like on my first Twitter account, I posted I don't know. I think this was like a little bit like I think this was around the time it was a little bit past when I uploaded quiet pop songs, and like I was trying to get into like whatever the like online Twitter like emo community of like 2021 was. And so I just said, I just made a tweet saying, hey, would anyone want to do like the split thing? I want to get back into making more Elizabeth Whitington stuff. And this one person, uh,
I believe there's the
and
cutout
who
there. It
makes
is.
music.
Yeah, you cut off for a
Yeah.
second.
Oh, wait, am I cutting out?
You
For a second
only,
you did.
yeah, you only just did.
Oh, wait, it's saying my connection is unstable. Oh, wait, is it fine now?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you're fine now.
Okay, but yeah, I was contacted by Sam from Salem's Critolus, and I liked a lot of the stuff they were doing, and so I was really excited to like maybe do like a split with them, or at least like collab on a song. And yeah, we just started talking more in the DMs, and we realized that we had a lot of similar influences and ways that we thought about music, where it's like especially the more lo-fi and noisier side of music. And I guess we mainly just bonded over shit like Shoo Shoo and Weather Day and stuff like that. And so we were planning on just doing like the split that was going to be called the Death Pop, because I was thinking of like the phrase death pop, and I was just like I don't know, I guess maybe we can make like two songs each, whatever death pop means to you, I guess. Like I don't know, like I don't know, the way someone can see something like death pop, which is just sort of like a, I don't know, mainly just like a made up genre, I guess, just like a made up subgenre. It could be different to like me than it is to other people. Like some people may think when they hear the phrase death pop, they might think of like thrash metal uh or like some like really hard shit, whereas some people can just think of like the fragility of death and think more like Will Oldham and like Belle and Sebastian type stuff. Uh, so I guess it was just like a interesting way of maybe, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't. This was the entirety of Duff Pop was really unplanned, and we did not. Yeah, we were just gonna be like a split between me and Sam, and then I got contacted by another person, Summer, who makes music under Coraline Jones and various other like monikers like Strawberry Milk Motel and stuff. And
Oh yeah.
apparently she was a big fan of QPS. They like both Sam and Summer were, and I was kind of taken aback by that, because I didn't really think my music would appeal to like that many people. I just thought this is, I don't know, it was a thing I made for class, just so I can get art credit so I didn't fail. So I don't know, I guess I wasn't thinking it was really going to attract much of an audience, but it did, which I'm grateful for. And yeah, we just started talking in in like Twitter DMs, and we were planning on making a split called the Death Pop, which was basically, yeah, just like songs that like were our interpretations of what death pop maybe meant to us. And then I forgot who it was who came up with the idea of like a label or like a collective, but I think we all like subconsciously really wanted to be a part of like a scene that was, I don't know, that shared a lot of the same sort of mentality when it came to like lo-fi and noise. And not that there's anything wrong with being hi-fi, but I guess at that time I felt like uh I don't know, I felt like a lot of people were moving towards the more cleaner sound, especially in emo. Like people were
Mm.
moving toward, I mean, not that that's like a new thing, people were just recording emo in a studio, but I guess personally to me, I always felt like I've gravitated more towards the noisier sides of music, and like I don't know, I'm a pretentious like hipster who prefers the demos to the recorded versions. So I guess in that mindset, I guess I just wanted to cultivate a community that I don't know, I guess shared similar perspectives on that sort of stuff. And I'm guessing that Sam and Summer were also thinking that, because yeah, slowly over time, death pop transformed into depth pop, which is, I know that we say like we put in the Bandcamp description like don't ask us like how we got the name of depth pop, but to
Yeah.
be honest, like it's very simple. Well, it's not simple, but it's very stupid. But it is a combination of death pop. It's a combination of depth like deep, like deepness, like depth,
Mm.
and deaf, like hard of hearing. So we just combined all three of those words into one word. And we were just like, you know what, that sets us apart. I guess it's uh, definitely is a phrase we can use, and so we used it. And yeah, I guess that was when Depth Pop started, and then we made a Twitter account on January 6th, I think. I think the day of the the day of the big event, which is
Oh God.
kind of insane. I think it might have been
Historical
like,
day.
Historical
yeah,
day.
yeah, you know, people will look back in the history books. Deapfth Pop founded in like White House thing.
Capitol stormed.
Oh yeah, Capital. Yeah. Oh wait, that was Capital. That was close second. Close second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, I guess it was just sort of like a haphazard thing that we made up, and we didn't. I don't know if I really expected anything from Deapfth Pop, and just like I don't know, maybe this would be like a cool thing to experiment with, you know.
Mhm.
And I guess 2 years later, we're now we now have people that actually like know us and enjoy what we do and like are big fans of Deapfth Pop, which personally I was not expecting. Not that like I'm ungrateful. I appreciate I appreciate like people who listen to like Deapfth Pop and like all of us. I more than I could ever really put into words. It kind of seems I don't know, I'm afraid that I come off a bit disingenuous when like I'm telling see people like I like thank you for listening to my music like over DMs because I feel like there's no real I don't know because I don't just want to say like oh thank you exclamation point heart emoji but it's like I don't know a way where I don't know how I can articulate how much it really means to me without like I don't know so I guess it's just I don't know. Yeah,
To be fair,
that's
I felt disingenuous when we were just talking about you listening to the show earlier, so I understand.
oh it's very hard to take it's very hard like getting praise is good, but I think we're just people who don't know what to do with it when we get it, or we don't know how to respond to it. At least I don't. But yeah, yeah, that's basically the story of Deapfth Pop. It was originally just going to be a split, and then it mutated into whatever it is now. And I think it's great. Even though I joke a lot about like Deapfth Pop, like shutting down or like we're selling out to become like the next like media conglomerate. I really do appreciate Deapfth Pop and like all the opportunities that it's given me and all the people I've gotten to meet throughout it. And yeah, that's basically the story of Deapfth Pop so far.
So
Uh,
how do you get from depth pop to like claustrophobia pop as a term, I guess? Because you sound like you were going on death pop as a theme, and then we kind of had a name kind of emerge
Ah,
after a
yes.
while.
Um, Claustrophobia Pop was a like pretty much like Deapfth Pop. It came up like kind of as a joke or like haphazardly. Like it wasn't really a lot of planning in it. Uh so fun fact, I kind of after I released QPS, I didn't really do much with the Elizabeth Whitington name for a while. So much so that I got locked out of the Elizabeth Whitington account, and I had to email Bandcamp support saying, "Hey, can I get my account back? I know I kind of wasn't really logged in for a long time, but the email that I used to sign up for it was just like a fake email that probably didn't even exist, or if it did, I didn't have access to it. So I was just
Like
like, oh
5 minutes
fuck."
ago.
Oh, I can't access like an email if you're sending me like a confirm if this is your email thing. It's not. I just can't. I made it up on the spot. And so I just contacted Bandcamp support and they gave me back like the login and stuff. And yeah, I guess I think I uploaded a Mitski cover just to like I don't know, just release something under it that wasn't just QPS, just to have something out there. And I think that's also the time where I released compilation, which was a uh, sure was a thing.
But
It's
don't listen to this one. I can't remember the title exactly, but
yeah, it's compilation. Do not listen. I think I added the do not listen like a little bit later because I re-listened to it and I was like this sucks. This is shit. And so I decided to do not listen. I didn't take it down just because I thought it'd be cool for archival purposes, but yeah, I feel like it's been around for like about 2 years. I think I'm fine with it just being private, or like if people have the files, they know what to do with it. But yeah, so we had compilation, QPS, and the Mitski cover, and I don't know. A lot of QPS was inspired by Starry Cat, or like Sam Ray's body of work, or like Julia Brown and stuff. And I don't know. I felt like uh, after QPS, I still love music like that. I love Sam Ray's like body of work, but I guess I don't know exactly how I got these scars from the Disney store came to be, but I guess it was just like I don't know. I wasn't like intentionally trying to make it like a emo song or something. I guess it was just supposed to be like I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember how it actually came to be, but yeah, I just recorded. I got these scars from the Disney store, and um, I don't really know how to do a lot of like mixing. My way of mixing is I mix everything like a demo, and then I just don't make a finished version of it. Like I keep the demo, like every song could definitely just be the demo version of that song, but I'm not recording any like new, like more cleaned up version. That's just the version I'm gonna go with. And so so I guess I just sort of I got these scars in like an hour or so, and I posted on the Bandcamp, and I think I posted that, and then like a day later I thought of this really, I don't know, like the concept of like mixing that was very boxed in, and like I don't know, that's where like the claustrophobia part in claustrophobia pop comes from, because I don't know, I felt like when I listened to Scars, it was like a very boxed in, very like compact way of mixing it, to where it's like a wall of, I don't know, it's like a wall of sound pretty much. I could have it's the simpler term would just be wall of sound, but to me it just felt more like, I don't know, the term claustrophobia pop just came to mind, and so I made a tweet saying, hey, starting a new subgenre called claustrophobia pop. That tweet is unfortunately missing and gone, because the Twitter account got banned. So there's no actual I don't know. I think I put in the description for I got these scars from the Disney store, like it isn't badly mixed. It's claustrophobia pop. So I guess that was. So I guess Scars was the first, like, I guess the first song that I ever made that was actually carrying the term claustrophobia pop. And then I don't really know how it like took off. I just kept making stuff, and as people really got attached to that sort of sound of, or at least style of mixing, and yeah, I guess it just sort of stuck. And now it's a kind of serious subgenre. I mean, it's like 70% like serious, I would say.
I mean, we take it seriously. We were saying there's fifth wave emo, and then claustrophobia pop is like an offshoot at this point.
Yeah, like I feel like lots of people have like came up to like us like over DMs and said like, yeah, I think claustrophobia pop is to the point where it's like it can be an actual like core, or like a actual like thing, which is very weird to hear, seeing as it spawned as just like a Twitter joke, but now it's like an actual thing people talk about, which is it's very interesting to me, but it's very cool.
So actually going on back to an earlier statement to the kind of people noticing death pop and stuff like that, it's actually two things to mention here. One, you've released the volume 2 of the Death Pop compilation earlier this year as well, which I'm trying to count the amount of artists that are on it, because there are a lot of artists that do appear multiple times. Like I can see you appear on there yourself, Trice. I believe it's Miserable Without You appears like 3 times on there as well. But there's still quite a lot of artists that appear in that compilation. And the other point about this is that not only just some of these artists on this compilation have been recognized by BSDJ and had tapes released on that label, but you also recently had We Are the Same But Minorly Fucked, if not Minorly Fucked, sorry, released on 2 tapes plus a lyric book.
yes, that is. It was very cool to be able to do physicals for that album, even though I did not think it would be possible, but it happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I guess the question I do want to ask, even though I know this is a loaded question, but I'll ask it anyway. Like, after listening to that, are you okay?
um, that's a very good question. I've not been asked that actually. I would say, I would say, uh, uh, you know, it's I mean, I'm still breathing, which is kind of take that however you want.
I think it's good.
Yeah, but I guess
Breathing is good.
I think that's the best answer that people can get out of me whenever they ask me like if I'm okay or not. Just like I definitely still am here. Yes, but thank you for asking.
I think it's time for a Trix question.
Yeah, so I was gonna say the same
Yeah,
thing.
all of mine are off topic, so I let them kind of go. But do you have like a dream piece of gear that you want?
Oh, huh. That's actually a really good question. I'm not really into like the technical. I don't really know a lot about like the technical side of music, or like I just know that guitar makes a funny sound and it's used in music, so I use it. But I guess if I were to pick like a one piece of like dream gear, I guess I would say maybe um maybe like a some form of like synthesizer, but like one of the really old ones that like took up an entire room and like you had to actually like use
Like a
shit.
Wendy Carlos style Moog.
Yeah, like you have to like do your own patches and shit like that. I feel
Yeah.
like I would definitely not be good at that, but I feel like it would be very interesting to just fuck around with that for a while.
You might find some interest in like modular synthesizers where it's sort of like that, but a bit more compact. But there's still like patch cables and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I have. I remember seeing like the mini versions of like the old like Moog shit and being very interested in it, but then also thinking, I don't know, seeing that massive ass price tag next to it and just thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna not. I'm fine with just like toy keyboards. I'm cool.
That Meow keyboard that you can get at Walmart for like $20 feels solid.
Oh yeah, I think I used that on LP2, or at least like a few like a few songs, and I think currently it's broken.
Fantastic.
They're relatively easy to fix and circuit bend. They're pretty fun to mess with.
I have seen like people using like circuit bent versions of it, and I think that that shit's awesome. I need to learn how to do some stuff like that.
Ritz, go ahead.
Alright, I was expecting you to. I'll go with another irrelevant question as well. Has there been anything that you've been listening to recently that's been outside of the whole I guess claustrophobia pop scenes are even a bit too narrow, so just outside of the whole emo scene?
Yeah, I have been listening. I guess recently I have found myself listening to a lot of like, or at least I can like, I've been listening to a lot of like assorted stuff, but I guess maybe I don't know, I guess emo core, but like early sort of like Rites of Spring sort of stuff, which is, I don't know, it's kind of interesting because I really don't find a lot of early emo very enjoyable. Like I feel like I think first wave is great, but it's also, it just seems like a more punk version of it. It just seems like it's more punk, but just sort of, I don't know, a little bit different. Second wave I feel like is very boring to me. It's an opinion I'm very infamous for in like the Deapfth Pop sort of scene, where I think that a lot of second wave is very boring and is very meandering, and I feel like the best version of second wave there is like when like Empire's Lonely Estate. I feel like they do it in a more interesting way, even though it was long past the second wave at that point when they were releasing music. And yeah, I don't know. I guess. But yeah, I guess just I've been listening to a lot of first wave. I've been listening to. I'm listening to the album "Rid of Me" by PJ Harvey a lot. I I have been meaning to get into PJ Harvey a lot. I don't know. I have a big backlog of artists that I feel like I should definitely listen to, and yeah, I guess I I forgot how effective like the loud, quiet, loud, quiet sort of like Pixies dynamic could really be until I heard like, but then I heard like "Rid of Me" and it was like fucking insane, and I guess like I love like the Pixies, and I remember listening to them a lot when I was like in middle school and stuff. And I guess I don't know. I guess I'm returning back to like my roots of what I was listening to when I was in middle school, just like for nostalgia purposes, but also I don't know. Maybe there's some stuff I could take back from I don't know what I used to listen to. But yeah, I guess besides that, it's yeah mainly just assorted. Oh yeah, a lot of cursive. Cursive is great. I don't know if you know the. I guess they're kind of second. They're kind of second wave, I guess, which is like a very. I don't know, but they're kind of like different than most of like the other second wave that I've heard. Like it's, I don't know. I feel like they do more interesting stuff than just fancy like guitar like tapping and playing, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of stuff like American football.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
everyone could have the same reference, the same bands. Otherwise, there would be nothing new.
yeah. But
I was just hoping for the real emo copy pasta.
yeah. I'll just say the real emo stuff.
I guess I've been letting the other two speak for a minute because I want to, I guess, more pursue LP2 because like we're still the same is quite an experience, and like having everything kind of surrounding it is quite, I think it's an accomplishment. Like it is the most distressed I have been since the crow looked at me, I will say. But you also have like created like basically a musical that is like submerged at the bottom of a pool of like I don't even know, not even water, just like something thicker that like you can hear it, but like there's so much layering and so much else going on that unless you're reading it like you're saying in the Bandcamp page, like you're maybe not as picking up on that as much. I'm curious if that like was an intention at all or just like you just had a lot to say.
I guess it was kind of. I guess it's kind of hard to say. I guess I was not planning on it being like as long as it ended up being. I was not planning on it being like a 3-hour long like epic. And yeah, I don't know. LP2 went through like a lot of different versions from when I was started working on it in like October of 2021 to We're Still the Same if Not Minorly Fucked, like the final version. At the first point, it was just going to be like more QPS sort of Starry Cat stuff. I was thinking I'll just make it like I did QPS. It'll be like I'll make LP2 in like a week, and then I'll just sort of release it. And then I realized that I kind of wanted to do something different with it, and yeah, a lot of, as you could probably tell from like the lyrics and just sort of how I talk about LP2, a lot of shit happened like in the interim between QPS and LP2. Even though I released like a lot of stuff like in between those two albums, I feel like a lot of the specifics were funneled into the lyrics and content of LP2. And I guess, yeah, I don't know. I mixed it like the same way I always do, and I did kind of want it to be a difficult listen. Like I didn't want it to be like I wanted it to sound like it took it took almost like 2 years to make. Like it is not just like I didn't just want to make something that like somebody could make in GarageBand. in like a week and then just shit out on a Bandcamp page. I wanted to take as much time as I could getting it exactly how I wanted it to be. And yeah, I guess it's sort of you have to be like, it's a more attentive listen, like if you really want to catch what I'm saying, or like really find those parts that I feel like are worth listening into. And yeah, I guess that's I don't know, I guess it was just, it was partly by design and then partly by accident that it ended up being like a massive like undertaking.
We love happy little accidents.
Yeah,
it's great.
Trix, you want to ask another question? We're kind of running up against our first intermission here, so
yeah. And I after the second one, I got to bounce. So, have you been playing any games lately?
I have, yes. I've recently been playing the first Dead Rising game. Yeah, I have played it. I've kind of played it before. I've never finished it, but I think I return to it every few months, just thinking that this will be the time that it really clicks for me, because I love the environment of Dead Rising. Like, it gives you this massive like mall to just explore and go wild with, but a lot of the game, it kind of feels like if you know like the game series Shenmue.
I love Shenmue.
Like,
Hell yeah.
From like the Dreamcast. It feels like it kind of takes like Shenmue like stuff where it just involves a lot of waiting for specific times in order to progress the story. And I don't know if it's I mean, most of what I know of Shenmue is just from like videos and like just watching assorted gameplay. So maybe it's not like this exactly in the games, but in Dead Rising, if you miss like a story mission, you basically fucked. Like, you can't finish the story anymore. Like, you're playing as a reporter, so it just says like the truth has vanished into darkness, and then I mean, you can go back into the game and just explore now that you don't have like the entire story to freak you out about. But I feel like at the time when I was first playing it, I didn't know that. I thought like I have to be super like attentive and I have to be there exactly when the timer runs out or else I'm fucked. And like, this game is just basically like a stress simulator. But I guess
yeah, that's why I haven't played it.
Yeah, like I guess playing it like I don't know, like this is my fifth go around, or maybe fourth, I would say, of trying to get into it. And I think, yeah, I feel like I'm getting more into it just because I'm paying attention to the story, but I'm also just dicking around most of the time with random stuff. But yeah, I guess it's a very fun game.
That has sold me on it more than most people have done before, because I love Shenmue. It's not quite as punishing as that, but that is an interesting take on the idea, I think.
Yeah, it's extremely stressful, but I feel like it's very enjoyable, at least for some reason. Like, now it's really enjoyable to me. And also, I guess I have to bring up obligatory, like, Bioshock. Just play Bioshock. Like, both
Bioshock was the first M-rated game I ever bought.
I could go on for this entire interview could basically just be me talking about Bioshock, because it's fucking, I love Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2. Bioshock Infinite was a mistake. I really hope that's not the last Bioshock game that happened. That like, I really hope it's not the last Bioshock game, but I don't know what they could do. I don't know what else they could do in the Bioshock series, because I don't want them to return to like Rapture. I feel like we've explored all of Rapture that we need to with like the 2 Bioshock games that take place in it. But I don't know. Columbia.
It honestly took me like 3 playthroughs for Infinite to click with me.
Oh yeah, I played through it like once in like a day. Like, it just like sitting down doing nothing but playing it. And I tried playing it a second time, but I don't know why. I mean, I know why they would turn it into like just like a bog standard like first person shooter, because like that's what was popular at the time, like 2013 when it was released. But I feel like I don't play Bioshock to play Call of Duty. I want to like I don't know. It just seemed more interesting when it was like I mean, it's a very linear immersive sim, but I guess those sort of elements were more interesting to me than just playing Call of Duty. But I'm in a Sky City now.
I'll defend the Bioshock Infinite hate. I never really played the first two Bioshocks, but I remember playing Infinite the first one because I was like, hey, horror games I don't really hate. Oh, but this one isn't so much in that side. I know Bioshock's got more than just like the elements of horror. It's not that. I remember just telling a friend at the time. I
don't mean to cut you off, but we do have less than a minute,
Yeah, I know.
so I want to make sure we get out and
This would
rejoin.
be a very quick story. I remember telling them that I thought the ending to the story was absolute dog shit, and
Yeah.
they just kept telling me you don't get it. I'm like, no, it's actually really easy to get. It's just dog shit.
Yeah, it's not a good ending.
Mhm.
Okay, let's get out of here and rejoin real quick so we don't lose this. Okay, we'll see you all back in a sec.
The year was 2018. My desk was brand new. I was a naive man. I thought it would stay that way forever. I made an EP. I made 2 EPs. Sports ball was my life back then, the memories not so much. Over the years, I grew more stressed. The desk was showing signs of it. I would punch the desk rarely. Rarely turned to occasionally. Occasionally turned to sometimes. Sometimes turned to often. Often turned to mostly. Mostly turned to daily. Daily turned into every waking second. The year is still 2018. My wife left me in 2019. She could no longer take it anymore. The screams, the banging of my fists on the desk, the refusal to let my life be any more than this. The desk had consumed my life, and I was letting it. The loneliness did not wake me up to reality. Instead, every waking second was turning into more. In 2020, I made some more EPs, for I was still stuck at my desk. I had ran away from the very ideas artistically, however I was still at the same desk. Nothing had changed, and for a while it really felt like nothing would. Fast forward to today. I no longer have sports ball. My memories are fading. I once had a desk.
Excellent. It said I wasn't going to be heard, but then I proved them wrong.
And one final thing I'd like to say about Bioshock Infinite. It walked so Overwatch could run, and that's all I'm going to say.
that is an insane take. I would love for you to explain.
Porn.
That's fair.
That is, yeah.
100%. Okay, yeah. That, like I was thinking, like gameplay wise, but yeah, you know what? I understand that. Both of them have apparently been like actual fucking like massive technological leaps in SFM content, which is insane.
Yeah.
We have Judas coming out eventually. I guess that's the next Bioshocky game. But
Yes.
does anyone really care at this point? I feel like.
There was Atomic Heart already, and that sucked.
I feel like it's I feel like Prey kind of was like a very good spiritual successor to like the Bioshock series, and I feel like I don't know. I'm excited for Judas because like Ken Levine's involved, but also I feel like the whole Bioshock but in space concept was already done very well by Prey, and I feel like even though it's coming from a person who was involved with like the original Bioshock games, I don't know.
Wasn't there like a magic game that Ken Levine was attached to or something that was supposed to be like a Bioshock successor? It's like a Kickstarter thing.
I don't remember that actually.
But
I'll have to look into that. I feel like I vaguely remember that.
it took him 10 years to get to this point. I know that. And his whole thing was, I don't want to make a big game anymore. I'm going to make something else and start a new studio. And here they are.
Yeah.
Rolling back to the music for a second. I guess you've kind of answered this already, but I would love to know, like, how do you make a claustrophobia pop song? Like how does one go about doing it?
Yeah. That is a great question. I don't know myself. I think I mean, most of the time, my way of writing a song is I think of just like, I think of something, and then I just record it using my iPhone. Uh, and then I record it using voice memos on my iPhone. I email the voice memo like to myself so I can access it on my computer. I download the file and I put it in my DAW, and then I just like fuck around with it. And I guess you just you repeat that process like about like 15 different other times for every single like track, and then yeah, that's how you get a claustrophobia. And then you mix it in a way where you mix it in a way where it's serviceable. Like you could definitely do a lot more, but just you mix it to the best of your ability the first time around, and then you never touch it ever again. And then you wait, yeah, and then you mix it to the best of your ability the first time, and that first time is just going to be the take. It's going to be the one, and then yeah, and then you just sort of release it. A lot of the time when I release music, it's just sort of, I don't know, it just sort of appears out of nowhere.
Let's see a question.
It's not really more of a question, more of it is a comment going on that. It's kind of defying old laws of music making, to be honest. And doing that way, kind of it's almost kind of doing it in an outsider's perspective. Not to really call claustrophobia pop outside of music, but it is kind of very similar with the styles there. I mean, I guess in that sense you're actually using a DAW, so that's more than you get from someone like Daniel Johnston.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Good question. You can continue on, Tony. I didn't mean to cut you off, sir.
oh no, I was just gonna say like we have been getting more comparisons to stuff like to like outsider music recently, which I think is I have not thought about it in that way like until people started like saying this kind of like reminds me of like sort of like an outsider music type take of like fifth wave emo, and I think that's very interesting. I love outsider music, and I don't know. I think it's very interesting to hear what people have to say about claustrophobia pop and death pop and that sort of stuff. And yeah.
So there's another topic I wanted to talk about because you sent out a message recently on Bandcamp talking about LP3,
Yes.
and you very casually mentioned that this is probably the last Elizabeth Whitington project.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So I am famously very critical of my own shit, and I don't know. On a good day, I think I'll say that my music is it's all right. It definitely is like a thing that I don't regret I don't regret it recording it. But then, like most of the time, I kind of hate my own art. But and I feel like there's no way to like say that. There's no way of saying that I feel like that doesn't look like you're just fishing for attention or like fishing for like compliments of people saying, "Oh no, your art's so good." Like I really just most of the time I just really don't like my own art, and I just I make it, but it seems more like I just have sort of a problem. Like I have an addiction to just making. It's the only thing I really know how to do, and I guess it's just
There's things to be addicted to.
Yeah, I could be a crackhead, but I chose making songs on a Chromebook, which is
Impressive.
I have heard a lot of people say that that's like an impressive feat to make stuff I make on like a Chromebook, which I guess it is. Like the amount of times that I've almost lost songs just because the entire DAW just like shits itself because adding more than like 5 tracks just causes the Chromebook to like break down. I guess it's sort of an accomplishment, but yeah, I guess LP. I don't know. I feel like I got a lot of what I wanted to say out in LP2. Like it was a lot of stuff that I was sitting on for like 2 years, and I was just making it, and I feel like after releasing it, it's not that I feel more relieved that like I don't have to think about that stuff anymore, because I still do, but it's, I don't know. I don't want LP3 to just be like, I don't know. I don't want it to just be LP2 light. Like I don't want it to just like, I don't want it to be just me talking about the same stuff, but just in a more manageable time frame.
Mhm.
I wanted like have something more to say than just like I don't know, the stuff I said on LP2. But I feel like starting from scratch is definitely a very hard process, and I don't know. I feel like after LP3, I don't really feel like there's really much I could do with Elizabeth Whitington that I didn't already cover in like LP2, and I don't know. And also just like I'm slowly becoming very, I mean, I was already kind of like jaded when it came to like music scenes and stuff like that, but I don't know. I'm becoming very disillusioned with the concept of like music scenes and like stuff like that. Not to anyone's like, no one's at fault for that. It's just that I don't know. It's just the me problem pretty much. But I guess like I don't know. I got put in too many bedroom scrams playlists, and now I'm sad, so I'm gonna stop making music.
So you want to stop completely then?
I would love to stop. I know that it won't happen. I'll still be making music because I have a problem, but I would love to just like stop completely and like I should have I don't know. Most of the time whenever I say like I just want to quit music, I usually say I'm just going to become an architect, which is, that's how the line in like the most recent Elizabeth Whitington like LP3 single, like the line, like the beginning line is like, if I wanted love I would have became an architect. And I feel like I have no idea how to like I have no architecture like experience. I think I just use that because it seems like a very I don't know. I had like artistic ambitions, but I'm gonna have to like, but also my parents told me to get a job that was helping other people and productive. So the best
And you
middle
can't
ground,
major felt.
yeah, the best middle ground is just making buildings for people to live in, but you can also kind of go wild and just like add some like, I don't know, some random designs in there for like the walls and stuff. So I mean, I don't know. I knowing myself, I will be returning. I won't really leave music. I'll just like spend 2 weeks lying in bed wanting to make music, but not knowing, like thinking that everything I've made up to that point was just a fluke, and then all of a sudden I have like 2 more EPs to release just out of nowhere. But yeah, I guess when it comes to Elizabeth Whitington, I feel like I don't know. I guess as a clean break would be nice. I don't know. Knowing me,
Start something new then.
yeah, like, and I don't know. Anything can happen in that sort of time frame, and I guess I could probably just, I don't know. I guess it'll most likely be because I think I also said the same thing about LP2, was that was going to be the last Elizabeth Whitington release. I'm just a very, I don't know, very fickle when it comes to my own artistic output, and yeah, I don't know. LP3 is, I am intending for it to be like a sort of, if not a complete breakup, then at least like a very, very like intense hiatus.
I mean, you did make Spiral, and I do think, if you wanted to think about music you can do outside of this arc of sorts between LP 1, 2, and 3, like, you have proven you can do it.
Yes, I have. I do think that I've re-listened to Spiral recently, and I feel like I could. I don't know exactly how Spiral even happened, but I definitely would like to make more. I would like to make a more albums like that, I guess, where it's in between. It's in between like a very big project, but it just sort of it exists by itself out of nowhere.
I'm happy to go on to the next questions as well then. Um, First off, I'm actually kind of surprised that when you talk about that architect line, that's not actually a BoJack Horseman reference, because lo-fi emo BoJack Horseman references have been filling that up for the past 5 years.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
but secondly, more important on the question, I believe you mentioned on an Instagram story or something similar that you were considering actually restarting LP3 from scratch. Is that something that's going to happen, or was that just one of those moments of you hate the art unfairly of yourself?
I guess it was. Uh, I guess it was partially just sort of like an actual. It was mainly a joke. It was mainly like a joke. I always say, yeah. I guess I just always joke around like, you know what? I've been working on like something. I've been working on this shit for like months. I'm gonna scrap all of this though because I heard one song that I really liked. Now I'm gonna shape my entire like musical output from this point on that one song. But it's also I don't know. I guess after hearing like a really good song and I returned to like what I was making before I heard that song, I definitely think I I don't know, there's a different way I could make this that would more fit what I want to do instead of like what I wanted to do when I made that song. Cause like, I don't know, like I could make a song that was very inspired by like Belle and Sebastian, and then I hear like one song, I hear like a really good song by someone like, I don't know, like Black Flag, and then I just like immediately think this song sucks. I'm gonna keep this song, but I'm gonna completely reform it into just like a punk song now. So I guess I don't know. Yeah, I guess yeah. I so it's mainly a joke when I say like I'm gonna scrap everything, but I guess at the same time it's kind of not. I guess, or at least like those old songs won't be completely scrapped. They'll probably just end up like on a compilation or like a split or like a I don't know, like an LP extras thing.
That's the classic game dev story of, oh man, somebody played something new, and all of a sudden the entire game has to change to fit around these ideas.
Yeah.
Which I can understand the like reassessing your work after experiencing something that you really really like or is really really popular. But I guess kind of pausing on that and like letting that moment pass can be important as well, because I think different art can do different things. And so like comparing yourself to something like Mitski or Bell and Sebastian when you're going for something else entirely is almost like the apples and oranges thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trix, do you have anything?
I'm still blanking right now. Come back to me.
I can ask a quick easy question again then. So I don't believe you've actually done anything of the sort, but have you ever considered doing the Elizabeth Whitington live show?
I have played like a few like live I have played live a few times. I think only recently I've been Bill Vassals with Whitington because most of the time I just come up with like some like joke name the day of. But I guess there have been like Elizabeth Whitington live shows, but I don't know, I definitely want to improve my live set before I play more live because I play it with just like I'm playing my guitar and then I use my Chromebook for like backing tracks, but I always feel like it's kind of a disaster and like not like a fun way. It just sort of like this is kind of unbearable to listen to. I don't know. I feel like there's definitely some tweaking I need to do to like backing tracks or maybe how I like mix stuff. at least how I mix them live, in order to accommodate for like a different, I don't know, because it's hard to replicate a lot of this. It's what I don't really play a lot of LP2 songs live, or at least I'm not planning on like playing most of them live, because I feel like it would be very complicated to translate. I don't know, it'd be very complicated to translate something like I don't know, like Spring Rain into like a live version without like having like a full band behind me. And I've stated multiple times that I think that the concept of starting a band to me is complete like dog shit. Nothing wrong with like people starting bands, but personally I feel like if I were to start a band, I would probably just come off as like a massive control freak, just because whenever I come up with a song, I'm really set on my ways about it. So I don't know. I guess personally to me, starting a band is not like the best solution. And also I just don't know that many people in real life that like would be like down to start a band, or at least play in like a backing band with me, just because like, I don't know, I don't really know that many like IRL musician people. So yeah, I don't know, I guess I would like to play more live, but probably when I have a more stable or reliable way that I feel like I can play a good show. I don't know.
You have some live stuff on your Bandcamp, and please don't take them down. I do want to cover them at some point.
Oh yeah.
But it was ironically because Ritz mentioned that he had the crawling going nowhere repeat files. I'm like, oh shit, that takes priority.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of that live stuff was just like, that's I think those are all like for URL fests, and I recorded them. Like that's why the live usually in like quotation marks, because it's just like it's basically just like its own separate album, but I just bill it as like a live album because it was for like a URL fest. And most of the time it's just all new songs that I will probably never record like new versions of.
Fair enough. Now to get into some of the weirder questions for me, what's your favorite variety of soup?
Favorite variety of soup? You know, that's a great question. I guess I would say, I don't know, maybe it's a very simple answer, but I just think a nice like chicken noodle is great.
Can't mess with the classics.
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm not a big fan of like tomatoes in general, so I don't really like tomato soup. And I guess just I
need a grilled cheese if I'm having tomato soup.
Yeah, like I've always heard that that's like the pairing, but I feel like my hatred of tomatoes cannot like I can't. I have not explored the vast land of soups, but
there's a lot of soup.
Oh yeah, like it's fucking insane.
Is this because I was eating soup like 10 minutes before we started recording?
Not really. It was because I looked over at my pantry shelf above my stove over there, and I just saw a can of soup.
Well, now I know the footage that I'm using for the intermission.
Yeah.
Soup.
So what, we're going to be halfway between the questions. It's like intermission time. It's just Dominic eating soup for 5 minutes.
It's not that long, but I do have footage of that. Yes. Okay. On that note, let's say you and some of your fifth wave emo friends are going to like a Panera or something.
Mm.
What are you gonna order?
I've actually never been to Panera Bread before in my life. I feel like me personally, I think I really think I would just look at I would just look at the person at the register and just say bread. Just give me
grab a baguette.
Yeah, just whatever bread you have, just give it to me, I guess.
They got a lot of it there, so.
Yeah,
In this
just-
scenario, you're with Sam, you're with Sholto, you're with Jude, and you're just like, oh god, do I have to impress these people or something?
I think Jude and Sholto would definitely. I think to me they give off huge like I'm gonna order everything off the menu just to like try them vibes.
Fair.
Like they would definitely order everything off the menu and maybe eat like 4 of them just for fun.
Death Lemonade.
Oh yeah, the Death Lemonade. Yeah, the Death Lemonade. No, any like sort of if we ever get like sponsored by like a restaurant brand, we're done. Like the Deapfth food brand is just like I mean, I'm pretty sure most of you already know about the British Delight sandwiches. That's sort of like the main Deapfth Pop cuisine, which is a really disgusting sandwich that involves, I think, Cheerios, spaghetti, ketchup and barbecue sauce, and then also a wax birthday candle, just in a sandwich.
Oh God.
Yeah, there's a video I made, but I like made the sandwich that I will send to the Twitter account if you want to see it. But it's very gross.
Sure.
Well, it's not like that gross, but it's like it's an interesting sort of thing. So the Deapfth Pop cuisine would just be complete like we want to push the boundaries of what we can get away with. What we can get away with getting people to eat. Wait, what?
Liver worse than Limburger.
Oh yeah.
I'm so scared for Trix's final question now because I'm so scared of the answer. You will understand that in a bit, Sarah.
What was the question?
We'll get to it in a few minutes.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Oh.
I'm too distracted by wax candle and spaghetti on a sandwich.
What if you could commission more merch, what do you think you'd like to go into? Is there any like specific like Elizabeth Whitington merch ideas, even if they're weird? Like a soap dish?
That's a great question. I really have not thought about like merch stuff outside of just like maybe t-shirts, and even then I really come up short with ideas on what would be cool on an Elizabeth Whitington shirt. But I would say if I could just commission any piece of merch, I would definitely maybe commission like a I need to think of what's the one thing people like would never need in their house ever. Maybe like tile.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
I like
but
that.
only one tile per customer, and like it's like a floor tile, so that like they have to rip up the floor, like restart, but there's just gonna be one tile that's just Elizabeth Whitington branded, and it's gonna be a complete like eyesore on their living space.
Can I make sure everybody takes off their shoes so they don't walk on the Elizabeth Whitington tile?
Yeah, like, it's art.
It's the thing where it's like if you drop your crock pot on the tile and it shatters the tile, you replace it, and then it's kind of like a spare tire then, where it's like, check out this really cool thing I have that's specifically used for this specific purpose only.
Yeah, and I think the tile would just have like a really stretched out PNG of my face, or maybe just like and like a really artifacted PNG of like the QPS album cover, and like maybe Elizabeth Whitington written in like MS Paint mouse tool like drawing.
So you want me to design it? Got it.
Oh yeah, I will commission you $5 in pocket lint to design a great piece of like Elizabeth Whitington tile art for me.
It's a lot of pocket lint.
Oh yeah, copious amounts, like a fucking treasure trove.
You're gonna be at the dryer for like a week.
Yeah.
Tell my neighbors never empty the dryer. I probably got that in there right now.
I'll go on to the next question as we move ourselves away from the tile. What was the first gig you ever went to?
Like just like the first concert I've ever been to, or like the first one I've played.
First one you ever been to, so watched.
Oh, I guess it was a Michael Jackson cover band in the front of a Boys and Girls Club when I was in like 7th grade.
Interesting. How'd that go?
It was they played the songs well. They were very good. They were all very talented people. I was only there because my sister worked at the Boys and Girls Club at the time, so I was just there. And I guess if I were to say like official like concert, it was when I went to go see Weather Day when they were doing the Edinburgh like tour with Oolong and Michael Cera Palin.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Camp Trash just wasn't there. I don't really know where they were, but it was like 3/4 of the split, and yeah, I guess that was like the first like concert where like I paid for like a ticket and like I brought friends and stuff like that, and yeah, it was a fun time. Definitely, I showed up in a hot dog costume. And yeah, I think there's a picture somewhere. I think like somewhere on my phone of me in a hot dog costume next to Weather Day. But
That's amazing.
That is.
yeah, one of these days I'll just sneak that into the Elizabeth Whitington like Spotify page so that people think that like Sputnik's like a member of Elizabeth Whitington.
Trix is something of a hot dog connoisseur themselves.
Yeah, I've been trying to eat 365 this year, and I kind of gave up on that.
That's completely fair. That would be a problem.
I there's a chance I could catch up, but I'm a bit far behind. I'd have to eat like 8 dogs a day for a month.
Oh yeah.
Was it
Well, maybe
the
not for a month, but
was it the Yankees or something? Though who was it that had the No,
It was a
it
sports betting
a sports
company.
betting one. Yeah. Did they get back to you?
and I haven't. I'm still waiting for an email on that.
If you haven't
Was
heard
that
of
an
that,
application for a hot dog taste tester?
Yeah, wiener connoisseur.
I believe what it was is that you actually had to go to different stadiums and you had to measure the hot dog.
Measure, weigh, get the circumference, taste test.
It's obviously going to be the gambling company showing off like who has like the longest hot dogs or like most value or something. But
Yeah.
I'm for that, to forget that it's preying on people who don't have money to lose.
Mm-hmm.
We've only got so much time in this, so I guess we're just gonna go with some more quickfire till we end this. Dominic, you start off.
Do you own a Wii U? Why or why not?
Yes, I remember having a Wii U when I was really young, and I think it was great, and I love the Wii U, and I feel like it got a really shit end when it first released. I feel like people comparing it to like the Virtual Boy were definitely like being very hyperbolic. I think a great console, and I still wish I had my old Wii U, but it's gone.
Did you ever play the Tony Hawk's game growing up?
I did not. I was very much just like a Nintendo only kid when I was younger. It was just like it was just like 3DS and Wii U. So I missed out on a lot of the games that people say made their childhood, because I was just sitting there playing like Disney Infinity 3.0.
Hell yeah.
Just to
Good
stop
game.
before it goes to Trix, because I was originally going to have a second up to that question, was it's a bit harder now. Is there any licensed song that you discovered from a video game that you got obsessed with? Because that was what I was kind of going with Tony Hawk.
Yes. I think I a lot of it was just like Radio Disney shit, because in Disney Infinity 3.0 there was a thing where you could just listen to Radio Disney whenever, like, back when Radio Disney existed, there was just like they would just play like old shit. So I feel like I have Stressed Out by 21 Pilots like imprinted in my head, just because it was like that's all they would play on Radio Disney, which is very interesting because it's not a very dark song, but like I don't really think of Disney when I think of fucking I really think of like 21 Pilots when I think Disney.
Mm-hmm. Favorite Arizona tea flavor?
I think I have like I literally have like a bottle of half and half Arnold Palmer next to me right now. So I guess that's pretty good.
My whole setup is on Arizona cans.
Oh yeah, you definitely. I forget. Did you ask online friends this question?
Yes.
I figured, and because like their whole thing is just like the green tea.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Neon Genesis Evangelion?
I have not. I feel like I'm too dumb for it.
I feel like your music vies really well with how that show winds up in the end.
Dominic, this is the 20th time that you said this lines up well with Neon Genesis.
That is very interesting.
You can continue.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I definitely think that I should watch it because people say it's amazing.
Don't go in with too many expectations. Just let it be a thing.
Okay.
Dream artist to see live, dead or alive.
Dream artist. Hanatarash.
I can't say I know what that is.
Hanatarash is a Japanese, like, I think they were called danger music. Basically, I don't know if you've ever heard the story of like the band that drove a bulldozer in a venue. It was them, and they would I think there's clips of like them playing live online, and they would just throw like glass panes into the audience. They would fuck around with like pails of like drum, like oil drums, but like it was, they were insane. I feel like I would definitely like, I would get my shit rocked for sure. I would like somehow I would just like fuck up, but
Japanese G.G. Allen.
I guess Yamataka Eye is they kind of are. I mean, I guess they're less sort of intense, maybe. I don't know. G.G. Allen was kind of insane.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Favorite piece of children's media you've watched as an adult?
Children's media. I'm not sure actually. I have not watched that much. Like, I guess I mean I could go like with the simple answer and just say like SpongeBob.
That's fair.
Like, like the early SpongeBob seasons are iconic for a reason. So I guess
they're amazing.
Yeah,
they are.
I guess I'll just say SpongeBob. I don't know. Yeah.
Real quick, why Miss Frizzle Raccoon?
That's just I don't know. It's just like kind of like my Discord picture. Pretty much, it's just Miss Frizzle but a raccoon. And I guess I was just thinking, what image would I put just like as a placeholder for my camera? And I just thought, this is I don't know. I think it's great.
It's cute. I fuck with it. I guess the question that none of us actually asked during this whole thing, and give like the shortest answer you can possible because of the time that we have. Why the name Elizabeth Whitington?
It's a long story, but it's a real person that it is a real person that existed in real life. But she got hit by a truck, and I ran across her. I saw her like roadside memorial near a 7-Eleven when I was walking around the time when I was making quiet pop songs. For some reason it affected me in a way where I named the project Elizabeth Whitington, even though the girl's name was Elizabeth Whittington and I spelled it wrong. I decided to keep the misspelling because I felt like I wanted to keep a distance between. I didn't just want to like piss on this person's grave by naming my music
Mhm.
after them. I wanted to at least keep a distance from it.
Last question, Trix. Go for it.
What is your ideal sandwich?
My ideal sandwich, it is bacon, some sort of cheese, salami, pepperoni, and on like toasted bread.
All right.
What drink goes with it?
Probably just water.
I
Surprisingly,
might be
a
able to
very
make this at work.
very cogent answer compared to the death-defying feat you described 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, maybe one wax candle if I'm feeling insane, feeling a little bit wild.
Well, we got about a minute and a half left, so I will just say thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. This has been really cool. You have given a lot of really in-depth answers and really have like described things very well, which I really appreciate.
Yes, thank you for having me on. I was looking forward to this. I mean, I was kind of dreading it because I feel like I'm not really good at talking about my own music, but I'm glad you guys asked me on after like a bunch of times you guys have mentioned me. I was very excited to be on here and finally like put a voice or at least like some form of face to the name. And yeah, I'm the new Brandon McDonald.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Once
If
we
you want to
let's-
plug
yeah.
anything. If you want to plug anything, go for it. We're just going to go until
I guess
until
just
it shuts off.
it's just Elizabeth Whitington Bandcamp. Check out Deapfth Pop. Check out all the artists on Deapfth Pop. Salem's Peritalus, Coraline Jones, Heap of Reeves, Swall Titles. So many cool artists on Deapfth Pop. You should check it out. LP3 coming out hopefully May or maybe June, or probably like a really long time after that because I'm definitely just it's gonna take about like 3 years I think this time, maybe about 5. So look forward to LP3 when it comes out. Fuck bedroom scrams.
With that, then we're gonna say goodbye and to actually turn on my camera for OBS. That'd be good.
I'm gonna take some Sudafed real quick.
I feel like there's something
There
very
we go.
American about washing down medicine with Monster.
It's not a monster, actually. It's a canned bubble tea. Oh, my filter is blurring it.
Yeah,
See if I can.
It's too
There
hot
we
for
are.
this stream.
that's something.
All right. I'm going. So let's get started.